Ancient Greece, a land of philosophers, warriors, and artists. It was also the birthplace of the Olympic Games. Imagine traveling back in time to 776 BC. The very first Olympic Games are about to begin. The Panhellenic Games, as they were known, were held in Olympia. This was a sacred site in the Peloponnese region of Greece. The ancient games were a religious festival. They honored Zeus, the king of the gods. The games were a unifying force. They brought together athletes from all over the Greek world. For a brief time, rivalries were set aside. The athletes competed in a spirit of peace and sportsmanship. The ancient Olympics were more than just games. They were a testament to the Greek ideals of physical prowess, mental discipline, and spiritual devotion. The games celebrated the potential of the human spirit. They left an enduring legacy that would inspire the world for centuries to come. The ancient Olympic Games were a grand spectacle. Athletes competed in a variety of events. These tested their strength, speed, and agility. Foot races were the highlight. The stadium, a sprint of about 200 meters, was the most prestigious event. Other events included wrestling, boxing, and the pankration. The pankration was a brutal combination of wrestling and boxing. Chariot racing was another popular event. It attracted wealthy competitors and large crowds. The winners of the Olympic events were crowned with olive wreaths. They achieved great fame and glory. They were seen as heroes. Their victories brought honor to their cities and families. The Games were a time for celebration. People from all walks of life flocked to Olympia. They came to witness the athletic competition, to partake in religious ceremonies, and to enjoy the festive atmosphere. Poets, musicians, and philosophers also gathered at Olympia. They shared their work and engaged in intellectual discourse. For over 1,000 years, the Olympic Games flourished. However, their glory days were not to last. As the Roman Empire rose to power, the Games began to decline. The Romans were less interested in the religious and cultural significance of the Olympics. In 393 AD, Emperor Theodosius I issued a decree. He abolished the Olympic Games. Theodosius was a Christian. He saw the Games as a pagan festival. The Games were officially over. With the end of the Games, the temples and stadiums of Olympia fell into disrepair. Over time, they were buried by the sands of time. The once great Olympic Games were forgotten by most. They lived on only in legends and stories. Centuries passed. The Olympic spirit lay dormant. Then, in the late 19th century, a young French aristocrat named Pierre de Coubertin had a vision. He believed that sport had the power to unite nations. He dreamed of reviving the Olympic Games. Coubertin was inspired by the ideals of the ancient Greeks. He believed that sport could promote peace, understanding, and fair play. He traveled the world. He shared his vision with other educators and sports enthusiasts. Coubertin's efforts paid off. In 1894, he founded the International Olympic Committee. This organization would oversee the modern Olympic Games. 2 years later, the first modern Olympics were held in Athens, Greece. Section 5, Athens, 1896, the dawn of a new era. The 1896 Olympic Games were a resounding success. Athletes from 14 nations competed in 9 sports. The Games were a symbol of international cooperation and athletic excellence. They marked the rebirth of the Olympic spirit after centuries of slumber. The opening ceremony of the 1896 Games was held at the Panathenaic Stadium. This stadium had been built for the Panathenaic Games of 330 BC. It was renovated for the occasion of the first modern Olympics. The 1896 Games were a triumph for Greece. The Greek athletes won the most medals. They were hailed as heroes in their home country. The Games also helped to put Greece back on the map. They reminded the world of the country's rich history and culture. The 1896 Olympics were a modest affair compared to the massive events of today. However, they were a powerful symbol of hope and renewal. They paved the way for the growth and evolution of the Olympic movement in the 20th century. Section 6, Expanding Horizons, the Winter Games and the Paralympics. The modern Olympic Games continued to grow in popularity and prestige. New sports were added, more countries participated. In 1924, the first Winter Olympics were held in Chamonix, France. The Winter Games showcased sports such as skiing, skating, and ice hockey. In 1948, the first Paralympics were held in London, England. The Paralympics were a competition for athletes with disabilities. They were inspired by the Stoke Mandeville Games. These games were organised for World War II veterans with spinal cord injuries. The introduction of the Winter Games and the Paralympics expanded the reach of the Olympic movement. They provided a platform for athletes of all abilities to compete at the highest level. The Olympic Games were becoming truly inclusive. They celebrated the diversity of human potential. Section 7. Triumph and Tragedy. Unforgettable Olympic moments. The Olympic Games have provided countless moments of triumph and tragedy over the years. These moments have captured the imagination of the world. They have inspired generations of athletes and fans alike. One such moment occurred at the 1936 Berlin Olympics. Jesse Owens, an African-American athlete from the United States, won 4 gold medals in track and field. He did so in front of Adolf Hitler. Hitler had intended to use the Games to promote his Nazi ideology of Aryan supremacy. Owens' victories were a powerful blow against racism and discrimination. The Olympics have also been touched by tragedy. At the 1972 Munich Olympics, 11 Israeli athletes and coaches were taken hostage and murdered by Palestinian terrorists. The attack shocked the world. It cast a shadow over the Games. However, the Games went on. They stood as a symbol of resilience and hope in the face of terror. Section 8. The Olympic Spirit, a beacon of unity and hope. Despite the challenges they have faced, the Olympic Games have endured. They remain a powerful symbol of international cooperation and understanding. The Olympic spirit is based on the values of excellence, friendship, and respect. The Olympic Games bring together athletes from all over the world. They compete against each other in a spirit of fair play. The Games remind us that we are all part of one human family. We share a common bond that transcends our differences. The Olympic Games inspire us to strive for excellence in all aspects of our lives. They teach us the importance of hard work, dedication, and perseverance. The Games show us that anything is possible if we set our mind to it. Section 9. Looking ahead, the future of the Games. The Olympic Games face a number of challenges in the 21st century. These include the rising costs of hosting the Games, the threat of terrorism, and the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic. However, the IOC is committed to addressing these challenges. They are working to ensure that the Games remain relevant and inspiring for generations to come. One of the ways the IOC is doing this is by embracing new technologies. For example, the 2024 Paris Olympics will feature the first ever Olympic esports series. This will allow gamers from around the world to compete for Olympic glory. The IOC is also committed to making the Games more sustainable. The 2024 Paris Olympics, for instance, aim to be the greenest Games ever. They will utilize renewable energy sources and minimize their environmental impact. Section 10. An enduring legacy, the power of the Olympic dream. The Olympic Games have come a long way since their humble beginnings in ancient Greece. They have evolved from a local religious festival to a global sporting event. Throughout their history, the Games have overcome numerous obstacles. They have continued to inspire and unite people from all walks of life. The Olympic dream is a powerful one. It is a dream of a world where people from all nations can come together in peace and harmony. It is a dream of a world where athletes can compete at the highest level while upholding the values of fair play and sportsmanship. It is a dream that is worth striving for. The Olympic Games remind us that we are all capable of greatness. They inspire us to reach for our full potential. The Games teach us that with hard work, dedication, and a belief in ourselves, anything is possible. The Olympic spirit is a beacon of hope, an inspiration for the world. May its flame continue to burn brightly for centuries to come.